Welcome from South Carolina. Once again, if you haven't already, go ahead and unmute yourself when you come in, announce where you're from, and then go back on mute.
Marty from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Welcome.
Jerry from New York.
Welcome from New York.
Dominguez William, Watts, California.
Welcome from Watts.
Gabby Tober, Orlando, Florida.
Welcome, Gabby.
Don Souza, Washington, D.C. Metro.
Welcome from Washington, D.C.
Jonathan
Joseph.
Franco, Northern California.
Welcome, Jonathan.
Joseph, Los Angeles, California.
Welcome from L.A.
Bernita from Maryland.
Welcome.
Shannon
Jessica
from
on
Tampa.
County office.
Welcome from Downey, and welcome, Shannon. We'll get started in a couple of minutes. As you come in, announce where you're from and who you are. Who you are, where you're from.
Sabrina, Houston, Texas.
Welcome, Sabrina.
Thank you.
Hey, what's going on? Chris Lewis from Downey, California.
Welcome, Lewis.
Nicole from the Virgin Islands, St. Thomas.
Welcome, Nicole, from the islands.
Yes.
Who else do
Brandy
we
in
have?
Northern Virginia.
Brandy, welcome.
Linda from St. Croix, Virgin Islands.
Ah, Virgin Islands again. Welcome.
Get it right.
All right, we still have some few people joining. We'll be getting started here in about 60 seconds. As you join, announce where you're from, your name, and then kindly go back on mute.
Keith Williams out of New York City.
Welcome, Keith.
Dayon from Canada.
Welcome, Dayan. Let's see if we have our first presenter on. Fabian, check 1, 2. Are you on?
Chris, good evening. I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Awesome.
I can. We'll get started here in a couple seconds.
Say my name
Sounds good, my man.
right now.
Yes, Kelvin, say your name and where you're from.
Calvin Pike from Calgary, Alberta.
All right, welcome.
Welcome.
All righty, so we are going to get started. Hopefully everyone had a great holiday, opening gifts with your friends and family. Nice weather. Give blessings to everyone. And today we're getting back to business showcase. The first person up to the plate, I want to introduce to you a person that's a 7-figure earner. I met him at our Mentor Factory and actually at our pre-launch. And he's had 7 figures earned in his industry, in insurance and network marketing. He is a father, a husband, and he's built teams that have done thousands of sales. He owns a social media agency. So tap into him if you have any questions on social media, because you can always learn more. From social media, there are always different aspects of things that you don't know or things that you do know that you might be doing wrong that somebody else is doing better. And he's a family man. Everyone in our industry and everyone in our organization is a family person, which I love. We're all family people. We all have our sons, our daughters, our wives, and we all bring it back full circle to bring education to you, the people who are here for the first time, and the people that are here on a continuous basis to build. So without further ado, I'm going to shut my mic off and I'm going to turn Fabian's mic on. And guys, take notes because there'll be jewels and gems and nuggets passed out this afternoon and you don't want to miss them. Fabian, step up to the mic.
Chris, thank you. I appreciate that. Can you see me and hear me okay?
Yes, you're good, Fabian.
Sounds good. Let me apologize in advance. I have a new laptop and I'm not the most technology savvy person. So I'm going to try to share my screen here and make sure that this works, try to get the presentation up. So. Chris, are we good?
Not yet. You're not sharing anything yet.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Did you give me permission to be able to share my screen?
You should. You should be a host. And if you need some assistance, I can share and you drive.
If that works, yeah, we can definitely do that.
All right. Let me see if I can do that. Everyone, technology has its hiccups all the time, even for the best of us. All right. So let's see. Boom. All right. Let's see if you can see my screen.
I can.
All right. So we should be building. Let's go, Fabian.
All right. Let's see if I can drive this thing here.
And if not, you can just cue me in when to move it.
All right. Sounds good. Well, Chris, thanks a lot. I appreciate you introducing me here. And just want to congratulate you for all the success you're having in the company as well. I know you're making some big waves here at BYLD and look forward to what you're going to accomplish here. So thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. As Chris said, my name is Fabian Tenorio. It's definitely a pleasure, privilege, and an honor to be able to join you guys tonight and talk to you about what we have going on here at BYLD. I'm fired up. I really am. I was really excited tonight to know that I was doing the company call and being able to present to you what I see in the company and what we have going on here and what's possible for all of you as well. If it's okay with you, I just want to ask for your permission. If I have your permission to really go in and share this with you the way I want to do it and get some emotion in this, put some fire emojis in the chat for me, please. If I want to make sure I have everybody's permission, because one thing that I've learned is that I never let the topic of what I want to talk about get in the way of what I really want to say. Okay, so if I go off on a tangent here and I get off track, let me know in the chat and bring me back. All right, sometimes I go off, bring me back, but I want to try to deliver some value for everyone tonight. So, all right, so BYLD Network, who are we? We invite you to come to BYLD, where we can help you build your mindset, your business, and your net worth. Chris, could you go to the next one? It's not letting me drive it. Sounds good. So here at BYLD, we're a high ticket brokerage with 4 high ticket verticals. They each have huge income potentials. All right. We have 4 divisions. We have our solar division. We have our water division, and we have home security, and we have our smart money division as well. Now, before I get directly into each division here, BYLD Network is offering everybody the opportunity of entrepreneurship, of building their own business. Give me 1 second here. I'm sorry. Chris, is there any way that I could drive this? All right. Sorry for the technological hiccup here. All right. So what we have here at BYLD is an opportunity, right? We live in the age of the gig economy. As you can see on the slides, I'm not going to read it to you, but we have a lot of opportunities out there that people are doing to build an extra income on the side, right? I've heard it said before by many successful people that say, build your living from 9 to 5 and from 5 to 9, build your fortune, right? So we all have our 9 to 5s, or we've had our 9 to 5s. And a lot of the time, those 9 to 5s just give us enough, really, to pay for our regular bills, right? Our day-to-day, our current living for us and our families. It doesn't really give us a lot most of the time to be able to invest and create some kind of financial freedom or time freedom. And that's why people nowadays, and even in the past, and even in the future, I don't think this is ever going to change. People always want to create something on the side to be able to give them extra income, right? And you have companies like Uber, you have companies like Etsy, Airbnb, Shopify. Let's go to the next slide, Chris, please. So here at BYLD, we're offering an opportunity where you can have leverage and you can offer something that people need, right? What do we look for in business opportunities, or what should we be looking for in business opportunities? We should be looking at industries that offer something that people need, right? Something that has a big market, maybe something that's not saturated. Here at BYLD, we're offering essential goods and services, right? Industries that are what we call recession-proof, that thrive in good economies and bad economies. And that's what we have here, and that's what we're going to dive into. As I was stating before, these are the 4 divisions that I mentioned. We have our flagship division, which is Encore Solar, partnered with Freedom Forever, who is one of the #1 companies in solar across the country. Okay, #1. We partner with #1, not with #2, not with #3. We partner with #1. If you're going to partner with somebody, partner with #1, always, right? We have our security division. We have ADT and Brinks, which are household names. Soon, I believe next month or in the first quarter of 2025, we have Ripple Secure, which is coming, which I'm really, really excited about. It's going to be our flagship security product that we have to offer. Then we have Rain H2O, which is our water division. And then we have our Smart Money Club, that not only is a hub to be able to increase your financial IQ, but also something that is an opportunity where it can offer you residual income. I mean, it's in the name. It says smart money, right? Nobody wants to be attached to something that's dumb money, right? So you want to be with it's smart money. If there's anything that says smart money, that's where you want to be. And that's what we have to offer at BYLD. Now, starting with our solar division. Chris, can you drive that for me, please? Are we good? I'm sorry. Can you go back, Chris? I'm sorry, go back. Go back one more. There we go. Awesome. Thank you. So starting with our solar division, on average, we're talking about direct sales. Now, here at BYLD, we have many ways to earn income, but the two main ways that we earn income here at BYLD are either you sell something or you have somebody join your team who sells something. Those are the 2 main ways. There's a lot of bonuses and a lot of other different ways that we'll have somebody explain later on to you. But to keep it simple, we have the best of both worlds, right? We have high ticket where you can come in, offer a service that somebody needs, and make a very good profit on it. And then we have the team building aspect to it, which is no different than like building a real estate team or a mortgage brokerage team, right? You introduce somebody to something that you're doing, and they get into the company because they want to build something for themselves. And because you introduce them, now you make a small piece or an override every time they make a sale. So here with Encore Solar, with our solar division, the average commission, if you would, for a personal sale is somewhere between $6,000 and $10,000. Think about that for a second. Think about one sale, you can make $6,000 to $10,000. Now, that's big. The reason I say to really focus on that for a second is because in our economy, one thing that I've learned is the average American household is, besides living check to check, which a lot of people are out there, I would say the majority of people are, a lot of people sometimes are on the brink of everything collapsing if they miss one check, right? On the brink of bankruptcy. I saw a study done where it said that the average American household just needed an extra $500 to $700 or $800 a month to be able to get out of that danger of bankruptcy. Think about that, $500 to maybe $800 a month, right? And this is something that you can offer somebody where you're making an average of $6,000 to $10,000 on one sale. What if you just made 2 sales in a year, right? And you made 20,000? That could change a lot of people's lives. That could change the school your children go to. That could change the type of food that you eat. That could change the car that you drive. That could change your zip code. That could change a lot of things. I mean, when you think about it, these high ticket verticals that we have, we're talking about one thing that people need, and you can make $6,000 to $10,000 by just showing somebody something that they need and helping them obtain it. Okay. Now let's move on to home security. It's not, the commissions are not as big as solar, but it's something that everybody needs and everybody should have. I have an alarm at my office. I have an alarm at my home, and you make $500 to $700 every time you're able to connect somebody with a home security system. That's huge. Think about at your job, or think about something that you could do on the side right now that would make you an extra $500 to $700 like that. Again, going back to what I was saying, $500 to $800 can keep somebody away from bankruptcy. And this is something you could offer to somebody in just one sale and make $500 to $700. Then we have our water division, which is Rain H2O. On average, you can make $1,000 to $2,000 or $2,100. Again, I'm not going to dive too deep into this again, but you get the point. We're offering high ticket, high vertical services here that people can make a living on, or just make a very, very substantial side income. And then we have the Smart Money Club, which is residual income. For those of you who have never had a taste of residual income, let me tell you, it's addicting. Residual income is basically being able to make money over and over and over again for something that you did once, making money while you sleep. The first time that I got taste of residual income, I was addicted. I realized that I no longer wanted to trade just my time for money, right? Meaning I'm trading an hour of my time and I get paid hourly, or a certain amount of my time and I get paid a salary. But after that salary came in, or after that one sale that I made and I made a commission, it was done. It was over until the next time that I dedicated, the next hour that I put in, or the next sale that I made. No, with something like the Smart Money Club, it creates residual income, no different than like these memberships that you see that, we sign up for Netflix. You sign up one time and that membership is charged over and over and over again, no matter what. Amazon, I pay for Amazon Prime, and that membership is paid over and over and over again. And the same with this, it's residual income. If you're not familiar with residual income, look it up, talk to somebody that has it, find residual income. You need residual income in your life. With that, Chris, can we move forward, please? All right, now let's talk about our first division. Let's talk about our flagship division. Let's talk about our solar division, Encore Solar. Now, why the solar industry? There's so much that I could talk about on why the solar industry. My background, most recently, I have a background in different industries, but most recently, I have a background in social media and I have a background in insurance. And now I decided to get involved with the solar industry. And the reason being is I wanted to be with something cutting edge. I wanted to be with something that is moving forward, something that was going to grow in the future, not something that's shrinking, not something that we've been hearing about for the last 30 years. I wanted to be involved with something. I've heard that the T in timing is more important than the T in talent, okay? And I'll prove it to you. Look, listen to this. A mentor of mine told me this one time. There's a lot of people out there that we look up to, that we see that do very well in an industry. They make a lot of money, and it's not necessarily the person. I mean, you got to give them credit, but it's not necessarily them. It's the timing of when they got involved with something. Let me ask you a question, and think about this to yourself. Do you know anybody, and drop a 1 in the chat. Don't drop any names, just drop a 1. Do you know anybody that's uglier and stupider than you and makes more money than you? Think about that for a second. Do you know anybody that's uglier and stupider than you that makes more money than you? Because I do, and I've known them in the past. So it's not necessarily the person, but it's the timing, right? Now, why is the timing so big in solar right now? Right now, we have over 130 million homes in the US, and 90 million of them are eligible for solar. Okay, now approximately about 5 million have gone solar already. That leaves about 85 million that are eligible and currently without solar. And that basically equates to opportunity for us, right? 85 million homes, think about that. 85 million homes, that's the market that we have to work with. Now, I don't know all the stats off the top of my head across the whole country, but let me share something with you. I'm in Chicago, Illinois, all right? Let me share some stats just here in Illinois where I'm at. Here in Illinois, I actually wrote this down, make sure I didn't forget. Residential solar here in Illinois in the last 5 years grew by 2,200%. Think about that. Not 5%, not 10%, not 20%, 2,200% in the last 5 years. Okay. Something's happening, right? That's a clue. Now, commercial solar, small scale commercial solar grew by 1,800% in Illinois. Again, not 20%, not 30%. If it would have grown by 100%, I would say that's pretty significant. But it grew by 1,800%. Now, here in Illinois, we have 144,000 registered electric vehicles. Think about that. 144,000. But what's more impactful than that is that it grew by 40% from last year. And our state doesn't even have the infrastructure or enough electric vehicle chargers to be able to provide for all these registered vehicles. Think about that. So, here at BYLD, we also offer the chargers for electric vehicles. Green energy and solar, it's not going anywhere. It's growing by leaps and bounds, and we want a piece of that. And we're offering you a piece of that as well. So, Chris, thank you. So, for consumers, why solar? It's pretty simple. It's a no-brainer. They can save up to 50% of their energy costs. We offer blackout protection, no upfront money to be able to install the system. It increases the home value, right? If I'm looking at a home and I want to purchase a home and I see a home that already has a solar system and I know that I'm not going to have an electric bill, that's a plus. And it's clean energy. For those of us or those of you that care about, I think we all care about the environment. For people who really want to play their part, clean energy. It helps the environment as well. But more than anything, it's just, locking in a savings and a rate for something that you're going to be paying for forever. I mean, think about it. I don't think anybody here ever thinks of a day, there's a day where I'm not going to pay my light bill anymore, or where I'm not going to have to pay a light bill. None of us, think that way, or that's not available to us. So we're locking people in to be able to cut out the middleman, right? So it's really simple. It kind of blows me away when I talk to people and I always ask them this question. I say, how do you think that electricity is created? Like, what is the company that provides you with your electricity do to get that electricity delivered to your home? Because I didn't know the answer to that. So people usually get stumped and they're like, I don't know. Now, they do it usually with 3 or 4 different ways, but one of the big ways is they have solar panels. They have these solar farms where they bring in the energy, they deliver it to you, and they sell it to you. So all they're doing is using solar panels to deliver the electricity to you and sell it to the consumer at a high price. We're basically cutting out the middleman, right? So instead of using their solar panels, use your own solar panels to be able to get the electricity and get it at a much better price. So a no-brainer. Chris, can you move that forward for me? Thank you. So what do you guys see here on this slide, on this picture? I see a bunch of roofs with no solar. That's what I see. And that equates to opportunity. All these people are paying electric bills. They're all paying high premium for their electricity. And they're waiting for somebody like us to be able to offer them something different and save them some money so they can put that money to use elsewhere in their lives. So we have some customer testimonials. Here's one. It's a customer in California. They were paying $287 a month before solar. And after solar, they were paying $148 a month. I mean, that's pretty significant. That's huge. Now, on this system here, the commission was about $6,400. And there was a mentor and a mentee, right? There's somebody who joined the company, brought the customer, the mentor who has a little bit more experience and knows what they're doing, help the mentee close the sale, and they split the commission 50-50, $3,200 and $3,200. I think that's a great day when you can make $3,200. Here's another customer in Florida, $410 before solar, $290 after solar. And you get it, right? The commission was $8,200. Again, the mentor and the mentee split it, $4,100. Now, energy cost over time is climbing. Annually, an average is about a 6 to 8% annual increase. That might vary state to state, but you can see what total cost is. You know, again, it's such an instant gratification society that we're in that sometimes we look at the upfront cost. We're not looking at the cost 3 years out, 5 years out, 10 years out. And that's where it really starts to add up is what's your light bill going to look like in the next 3 to 5 years? What's it going to look like in 10 years? People can have 6 figures in savings, right? In the next 10, 15, 20 years. So this is not something that's helping people immediately, but it's not only giving them an upfront savings, but it's also helping them save year over year over year, right? I don't know many services that do that. We have services out there that we can purchase and they might give us, they might be impactful upfront, but this keeps delivering savings year after year after year for the next 2-3 decades. Now, this gentleman here is my grandfather, for those of you that don't know. Now, I'm kidding. Now, most of you know this is Warren Buffett here. So, you know, he's somebody that obviously knows what he's doing and somebody that we might want to listen to and take some advice from. And he was actually quoted as saying that energy deregulation will be the largest transfer of wealth in history. Now, for me, that just sounds too fancy. I'll be honest with you. All I heard was transfer of wealth, and I'm looking to transfer some of that my way. And, you know, with that being said, again, it's a no-brainer, right? It's something that it makes sense. And it's something that's growing day by day, and it's something that's looking to grow in the future. So it's something that you want to get involved if you're looking for something that is growing, not something that's remaining stale, neutral, or that's shrinking. Now, as far as our security brokerage, our other division, ADT, Brinks, you guys have heard of them. They're household names. They're reputable companies, state-of-the-art technology. I'm not going to read the slides to you. You guys can see some of these bullet points here. But, you know, we're offering people something that they need. And again, commissions average from $400 to $700. And you either know somebody who has an alarm or somebody that should get an alarm and wants to get an alarm. So again, it's cutting edge technology and not bad commission. Now, our next division is Rain H2O. This is huge. You know, for those of you that are on social media, probably on a daily basis, you see something about water, right? You either see somebody telling you how much water you should drink, somebody offering you a water bottle that's adding hydrogen to your water, somebody telling you about alkaline water. It really is something that's coming to the forefront, and it's becoming more obvious, and people are realizing how important this is, right? So what we do is we have devices or purification systems that will help your water be more alkaline and add hydrogen to the water. Now, really, water is, you know, people talk about supplements, they talk about vitamins, they talk about all these things, but really, let's just get to the basics. Water is very important. We drink our water, brush our teeth with water, take a shower with our water. We're giving it to our children. You know, water, the benefits of alkaline water, as you can see here, rich in antioxidants and minerals, hydrates the body, supports immune system function. But here's one thing I want to tell you. These slides can do all these bullet points and give you a lot of info, but here's something I'm going to give you. Some of you are going to love me for this. Some of you are going to hate me for this, because when I first found out about this, I was not only disgusted, but my mind was messed up for a long time. If you guys go to ewg.org, again, ewg.org. If somebody can drop that in the chat, that would be great. Again, ewg.org or epa.gov. Again, epa.gov. When you go to those sites, you can put in your zip code of where you live, and they'll give you a report of all the contaminants that are found in your water. it's disgusting when you see what's in your water after it's already been at the water plant and it's already been treated. So supposedly this is clean water coming into your home. Go take a look and look at the report of what's found in that water as soon as you open up your faucet. And you might want to take a look at purifying the water that you have at home. And even with bottled water, I'm big on bottled water and I like to buy high quality bottled water. But then you have the side about the microplastics. I'm sure you've heard about microplastics online or on social media. So purifying the water in our home is very important. And we do systems anywhere from a countertop that'll purify the water coming out of the sink to your whole system in your whole home, even the water you take a shower with. Now, something that I want to share with you, something that I noticed the other day that was really crazy to me. And again, things and success leaves clues, right? Everything's about clues and where things are going. I was driving the other day and I saw a truck. It was, I believe, a Hinkley and Smith or a Nestle water. You know, those big trucks that deliver the water to the homes. And on the back of their truck, I noticed that they said now offering in-home filtration systems. And it hit me because I thought to myself, well, if they're delivering bottled water, why are they now getting into the sector or the industry of offering in-home filtration? And I think, right, it would make sense that they're moving into this because people are also becoming a little bit more knowledgeable about microplastics, about the plastic, right, that contains the water. So now they're moving into in-home filtration. So obviously we're headed in the right direction. So with that, Chris, can we move forward? Great. Now, as I mentioned before, BYLD, high ticket brokerage with Encore Solar, Encore Commercial Solar, ADT, Rain H2O, and Smart Money. Now, this is my favorite part of the presentation. This is where we get to the 7 different ways to earn with this opportunity at BYLD. Now, before I introduce the gentleman that's going to talk to you about how this can add to your life and change your life financially, I want to be able to, I guess, cast a net to everyone who joined us on the call tonight. When we start talking about money, I always feel that it's such a sensitive subject, and I'll tell you why. It's hard to reach everybody when you're talking about finances because we have all types of people on the call tonight, right? All types of people from different backgrounds. But what I've noticed when people are looking at an opportunity is we have some people on this call that are looking at this opportunity because they need an opportunity. Because honestly, they're looking for a way to add some extra revenue or some side money to their household, to their situation. Then we have some people that are looking at the opportunity and they're doing great. They have money in the bank. They have money to invest. They either have a great job where they're making sufficient money. They have a business that's already creating a great income for them. But they're looking at this because they're entrepreneurs. They're looking at this because they're investors. They're always looking at new industries, new sectors to be able to invest their money in and something that can create another stream of income, right? A lot of entrepreneurs want to have more than one stream of income. I have more than one stream of income, right? And then you have some people on the call that are making great money, ridiculous money, but they're looking at a way they understand leverage. And they're looking at a company like this because it's a futuristic company, something that's growing in the future. And they understand team building. They have influence, they have authority, and they know that they can get many key people involved with this company and build something for them that's also going to leave residual, right? So no matter where you're at, this is what I've learned. To some people, you talk to them about making an extra $500 a month, and it's impactful because I'll share something with you. The first time that I ever looked at a company, this was about over 20 years ago, a good friend of mine, Tony, introduced me to a company that was similar to this, not as good as this, but similar. It had a team building aspect to it. It had leverage and residual income attached to it. This was all new to me. All I knew was the 9 to 5 that I went to every day. But here's what got me. When they were giving me the presentation and I was taking a look at it, all I cared about was being able to make an extra $441.32. That's all that mattered to me. If I could find a way to make an extra $441.32, and I'm gonna tell you why I remember that number so exact. There's my car payment. It was my car payment back then. And I remember thinking to myself, I was about 20, 23, 24 years old. And I remember thinking, all right, I have my check from my 9 to 5 that comes in, but that $441.32 comes out every month. And it was a big chunk for me. And I figured if I could just find something on the side that could cover that $441.32, I was set. That's all I needed, right? Now, I'm glad I got involved because it ended up being a lot more than $441.32. It really changed the trajectory of my business life and the way I thought. But the reason I say that is because for some of you, they might be looking for just that extra $500 to $1,000 a month. It's like an elevator. Get off on the floor that corresponds to you, right? So you might have people on here talking about making 6 figures, 7 figures, making 20,000, 30,000, 10,000 a month. But it's like an elevator. Get off on the floor that's good for you. If you're only looking to make $500 to $1,000 a month, think about it. If you made just one sale in our solar division, that's an extra 6 to 10,000 in one sale. You're good for the year. That's it. One sale for you, you're good for the year. Now you might be looking for 6 figures, right? So do the math. So get off on the elevator, right? Get off on the floor that works for you, but just have an open mind. And with that said, I want to be able to hand this off to not only a good friend, but a business partner, a gentleman that I hold in high regard and I respect massively. This gentleman is what I like to say, a gentleman that not only has he done millions of dollars in this industry, right, in the direct sales team building industry, but this gentleman that's coming up, he's a gentleman that's done some significant things, right? But there's a difference between accomplishing significant things and being a person of significance. And I like to think of this person as a person of significance, because not only has he created success for himself, but he's changed what he's doing to be able to create success for a lot of people. He's adding value to a lot of people, helping a lot of people, and really pouring into others that want to build for themselves as well. So with that said, I want to be able to introduce my good friend, my business partner, Mr. JC Rangel, who is also the president of BYLD Network.
Wow. Fabian, thank you so much, brother, for those kind words. Truly, Fabian and I have known each other for, geez, about 10 years, probably a little bit longer than 10 years. And we've had the good fortune of knowing each other. We've never really done business together, but we've always talked about business. We've always gave each other advice and input and whatnot. He's also a big UFC fan, as am I. And so whenever he wants to, find out who's going to win, he always calls me first, right? That's a little inside joke that we have because he's very good at picking winners. Anyways, you guys can see, ladies and gentlemen, we like to have fun here. So, but Fabian, I respect everything that you've done. I'm super happy. He's one of the gentlemen that when we started this company, we reached out to and say, hey, man, listen, we're putting this thing together. Would you like to come in? Not only, he's very humble, but not only is he a leader in this company, one of the top leaders building a business here, but at the same time, he is also very low-key and one of the original investors and founders in our company, right? So a lot of people don't talk about that, but very happy to have him here. So with that being said, Fabian, and everybody else, thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And listen, I want to congratulate all of you. First and foremost, I've got my 3-year-old outside. My wife took our other son, to jiu-jitsu practice. So it's just me and the 3-year-old. So he's right outside that office and he's screaming because he's playing and he's having a good time. So if you hear him a little bit in the background, that's Alexander. Anyways, so it is the end of the year and I want to congratulate everybody for being here because this is a history event, right? Here's why. This is a last business showcase for 2024. And I tell you what, we've had an amazing 2024. I am so incredibly proud, grateful, and so many other words that come to mind when I think of the team that we've attracted, right? We truly are a family. We've helped a lot of customers. We've blessed a lot of customers. I truly believe that every product that we sell, from the solar to the water to the security, literally are products that save lives. Now, I don't have time to get into those details here today, but I will share this with you. They're products that save lives. So I'm going to get into the money, ladies and gentlemen. There's 7 ways to get paid. I'm not going to cover every one of the ways to get paid, but I'm going to cover the few ways that we get paid. So on our high ticket brokers, remember, we've got commercial solar, residential solar, home security, water filtration. Those are your 4 high ticket brokerages. Okay. Then, of course, we've got the residual income that we'll talk about at the end. The 70% is the commissions paid on our 4 high-ticket brokerages. We've got a gentleman that just closed a $2.4 million commercial deal. We've got people that are closing 10 up to 20, close to 30 sales a month on this program that I'm going to talk about here. So I want you guys to do the math, right? We are not your grandparents' direct sales company. We're not selling lotions and potions and juices, nothing against those products. But my point is that we are offering people not only great value, but at the same time, we make great money for doing that. So earn 70% off your personal sales. We're talking about solar here. The average profit on a solar sale is $10,000. 70% of that is your commission. That would be a $7,000 commission is what you would make. Now, keep in mind, when you are brand new, you need to go through certification. You got to get trained, right? So you could come into this company and make money day one. Day one, I come in, I go through the basic training so I know how to collect a couple of bills. I collect the bill, have a closer close that sale for me, and guess what? I split the commission with that mentor 50-50. So your first 3 sales, ladies and gentlemen, are training sales. The training sales is a mentor. Let's say Fabian is new. He comes in, enters a lead, tags me. I help him design the proposal, price a proposal. I educate him and show him. I mentor him. We schedule the appointment, whether it be via Zoom or in person. I present, he watches and learns. I close the deal. He makes half of the commission, which again, the average commission is $7,000. That means that we each split $3,500. We each make $3,500 each. So your first 3 sales are done with a mentor. They're training sales. Once you do that, once you've completed 5 sales on your own, you now qualify to complete the company certification. You complete the certification, you now have the option to become a mentor if you choose to. You don't have to. Just like you don't ever have to close any of the solar, water, security sales. You never have to close them yourself. But if you do, you could, right? So after your first 3, you could close on your own. Once you've done 5 of those, you could become a mentor. Here's the deal. Let me give an example as a mentor. What does the money look like? And by the way, you could become a mentor in solar, in security, and water. Okay? So let's say, for example, you are a mentor. This is where the money gets exciting, ladies and gentlemen. These are the best leads in the world. Okay? You become a mentor. Let's say there's 4 consultants that need somebody to help them close those sales. Well, 4 consultants times 3 sales equals 12 sales. 12 sales at an average of $3,500, right? That's $42,000 in commission in this hypothetical example. Now, for compliance reasons, is this any kind of guarantee of money? Absolutely not. If you get paid just like in real estate, in insurance, you get paid based on your efforts and your merits and your skills and your work ethic, right? But this is a hypothetical example. We've got a gentleman that didn't close 12. He closed 28 mentor sales in 1 month. The most sales I've ever closed in 1 month is 24 in a month. Okay. So the potential here is tremendous. So for those of you guys that decide to build a brokerage, see, a lot of us have probably been involved in the network marketing industry. This is the evolution of that industry. It's no longer called network marketing because of the way we do it. This is high ticket brokerage. We don't run a network marketing business here. We run a high ticket brokerage because you can make serious income, full-time income off your own efforts. You do not need a team to make any money. Okay. So anyways, that's the mentor split commissions. Now, as you build a team, for those of you guys that decide to build a team, which is a very smart thing to do, you make immediately as a consultant, everybody starts off as a consultant, you make a 20% override on anybody that you personally introduce into the business, any sales they make. I'll break that down for you. $10,000 average profit. $7,000 goes to the seller. That leaves $3,000 left, right? The company doesn't keep the 3. They pay half of that in overrides. You brought Michael. Michael makes a sale. He makes $7,000. There's $3,000 left. 20% of the $3,000 goes to you. You just made a $600 override. As many people, if you bring Jabari, Gabby, Alejandro, Francisco, and Dayan, guess what? They each make a sale. You make your 20% override. They could range from $400 to $1,000. Depends on how big the commission is. Now, once you and your Total team, your entire team are doing 10 installs in a 60-day period. So that's an average of 5 per month. Okay. Let's say after some time, your team grows. You told a couple folks who told a couple folks, they're closing some sales. And this could be personal sales. It could be mentor sales, right? As long as they're sales within your team, you now get promoted to manager. As a manager, ladies and gentlemen, you no longer make 20% on your personal sale, on your team for level 1 overrides. You make a 30% override on level 1. And anybody that they introduce, you make a 10% override. And guess what? That is on solar, commercial solar, the water division, or the home security division. Any of the high ticket brokerages, you get paid these overrides through unlimited levels as soon as you get to manager. Okay. Then director, as you can see, 35% on your front line, 15% through unlimited levels. Executive director, listen, at director, the money is crazy. There's a gentleman here. There's one director in the company. He's actually here. I'd love to hear from him at the end of this presentation. He also happens to be the gentleman that closed 28 mentor sales, okay, in 1 month, okay? He's also a director with this company. So as an executive director, which is, I believe that next year we will break at least 10 executive directors in our company, okay? Not only are you at 40 and 20, but you now share in 2% company-wide pool. That means all sales. Solar, security, water, commercial solar, 2% go into that pool. Any and all executive directors share that 2% pool. Now you override the entire company. And national director, the money just gets bigger. 45 and 25, and the pool is now 5%. So let me give you an example, a couple of examples. Okay, let's say you grow a team of 10 people. It could be 10, it could be 20, it could be 5, doesn't matter. But it's 10 sales they did in the month. Let's say 10 consultants did 1 sale, that's 10 sales. 4 of them came from your level 1, the other 6 came from anywhere else on your team. Your broker overrides, like a real estate broker, you're a high ticket broker here. You're a solar broker, water broker, security broker. $6,300 in overrides. Maybe you took December off. Maybe you say, hey, for the holidays, I'm taking a vacation. Guess what? $6,300 in overrides is what you made in that scenario. Now, what if you actually made a sale yourself? Well, that's an extra average $7,000. That will take you up to over $13,000. Now, what if that team did a little bit more? Instead of 1 sale, they did 2 sales. You're at $13,800 in overrides. If you added a sale yourself, you're at over $20,000. Not too shabby. The potential is tremendous, ladies and gentlemen. So your high ticket brokerage, we're gonna go fast here. You have the option to start your high ticket brokerage business as a consultant, $149 one time, and then $49 per month thereafter. Okay. So to run your business gives you your website, your back office to track your leads, track your commissions, right? All of the tools that you need to build your business, $49 a month. Month 1 is $149. If you refer 4 people, you pay no more. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know this. You are operating a high ticket brokerage here. You will have your own solar division brokerage, which, by the way, I know owners of solar companies that are small, local, or regional companies that don't make what we make on a sale. Think about that. They actually make less than what we make, and they have a monthly nut of $10,000 per month, and they could only service, for example, Southern California. That's where I live. I've got a nationwide brokerage for $49 a month, and I make more money than the guy that's paying $10,000, $15,000 per month overhead to run his company. He makes less than I do, offers less options than I do, okay? Doesn't have as many bank options as I do, and I could offer it nationwide. I want you to really understand, he doesn't offer security, doesn't offer water. I truly believe that this is the best kept secret in business. That's why I wanted to make sure that we did this today, because we know that in 2025, I want you to put a number 1 in the chat if in 2025 you're looking to have your best year yet. If you want 2025 to be your best year, and we're not just talking about money, we're talking about time freedom, right? I've had the good fortune of building some big teams, override and residual income, where my time is freed up and money is not even close to being an issue, right? So I'm curious how many people want to have a tremendous 2025. Well, that's why we're doing this today. We could have took the week off, said, you know what, it's okay, it's the holidays, people will understand. But I said, no, you know what? People are looking for an opportunity. People are going to sleep tonight. They're going to go to sleep on the 31st. praying for an opportunity, and we gotta find those people. So everything you saw here today, ladies and gentlemen, is $149 one time and $49 per month. If you refer 4 people on that same membership or greater, your membership fees are waived. Now, for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to talk about our Smart Money Club, our travel, and our residual income. So you've got big commissions, you've got override income. Now we're going to talk about residual income. This is how Elvis Presley, I believe last year, made $20 to $40 million, and he's been dead for many decades, right? That is because of residual income, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about that here next. So that's a builder program. It's $50 more. $50 more month one and $50 more on a monthly basis, right? $199 one time and then $99 per month. What does that give you? Here's what it gives you. So we're going to break this down. First of all, it gives you the Smart Money Club and the Entrepreneur University. This is getting built out, and it's already about, frankly, it's about 30% of the way there, but we're not even close to where we're going to be. And it's a beautiful thing. So you got financial mastery. There is a big difference between what the top 1% of the world know and teach their children versus everybody else. So you got a credit repair software and a credit building software, not only education, but a software that helps you fix your own credit if you need it, your family's credit, your client's credit. You now have this software to clean your credit because financial mastery starts with your credit being up to par. You've got to be striving to have over that 720 FICO score. So imagine a university that is not for getting this degree or that degree, but it's entrepreneur and financial fitness. How to be the best you could be financially, right? So credit repair, tax planning, how to be your own bank and finance your own assets. Imagine if that next car or that next home, you could be the bank and earn interest on it, right? How to retire tax-free on the business mastery side, how to set up the proper structure. I'll never forget when I was in my early 20s, I had a gentleman that ran an office that I worked for. And he said, he had the big body Mercedes. I remember the expensive one, right? Right now that car would be worth about $200,000. At the time, it was about $100,000. He says, and I had a Honda Civic. And he says to me, you know, JC, that I pay less for my Mercedes than you do for your Honda? Because I'm a business owner, and the way that I'm structured, okay, this is not my car. This is my business vehicle. And the way that I'm structured allows me, it costs me less than what your car costs you. He says, because you are an employee instead of a business owner. So setting up the proper entity, establishing the credit. 2 years ago, 2 years ago in December, the 31st, as a matter of fact, I went to the dealership and I bought my wife a new Suburban, the brand new model, right? It came out that very year. It came out actually, I think, the year after, right? Which was 2022. That $95,000 Suburban was a 100% tax write-off. It weighed over the amount of pounds that it needed to weigh. Guess what? This is the kind of stuff that people need to know. Now, some people are in a situation where like, well, I don't make that kind of money yet. Okay, that's great. That's why we teach you how to build a business. Let's show you how to build a business, get your income up, while at the same time we're preparing you how to be a real entrepreneur, how to know this. I know real estate agents, ladies and gentlemen, that are realtors that make $250,000 a year, $300,000-$400,000 a year, that don't have their entity structured properly. It is outrageous. And they're paying more taxes than they should. They're not their own bank. They're behind on their taxes. So entity structuring, establishing corporate credit, access to capital, the good versus bad credit, and so many more. It doesn't do it justice. On the other side is this. Before I go to this slide, what's getting created right now is this is the Smart Money Club. The Entrepreneur University is a university that teaches you self-confidence in certification forms. You log on to your account and you watch the videos. They're 1 to 2 hours long on average, with small tests in between that course to make sure that you pass, to make sure that you understand. Then you get a certificate after every one. Sales Mastery 1, 2, and 3. Self-confidence, how to develop self-confidence. How about public speaking skills? How about networking skills? How to network like a professional. All of the skills that you need to be not only a great entrepreneur, but a great sales professional, right? And the list goes on and on. When we're talking about the e-learning space, That is a $200 billion industry right now that they say that by 2030, it'll be $1 trillion industry. That is what's getting created as we speak with the Entrepreneur University. And then lastly, we've got our BYLD Rewards app. All of you are shopping from your hotels. And by the way, this is going to get better in 2025. Some exciting things down the pipe. But all of your travel, okay, save 10, 20, 30%. Okay, and those percentages, by the way, are going to increase. So on the stuff you're already doing on restaurants, on retailers, on travel providers, as a matter of fact, the average person that actually uses this membership saves between $2,500 and $3,500 per year just by using this. I have one of the gentlemen on here. His name is Chris out of Long Beach, California. He says, I always buy my guys pizza when they go overtime. They do some kind of overtime at his business. So I go and get him, I think it's Pizza Hut. He said, so I went to the same Pizza Hut that I normally go to. He said, I save $30 on the pizzas that I buy for my people normally. I always do this anyways. So he says, but this time I use a BYLD Rewards app. To my surprise, I saved $30 that I did not expect I was going to save. Our other buddy, Calvin, who's also a mentor with this company, went to a steakhouse with his wife that he normally frequents. He says, JC, the bill was about $120. I ended up paying about $100, a little bit over $100. I saved nearly $20 on a dinner that my wife and I were going to go to anyways. In my case, I took a little trip to Palm Springs, California, took my wife. It was only 3 nights. We saved about $106 on the 3 nights total, not $100 a night, no, but it was about $106 total. I said, that's interesting because that $106 more than covers my BYLD membership. Just that one trip saved me the membership cost, right? But at the same time, I don't even pay for it anymore because guess what? I've already referred a lot more than my 4. Remember, you refer 4, you pay no more. You get to save on what you already do. You get the Smart Money Club, the Entrepreneur University, and you get to learn to build a high-ticket brokerage business. So the second to the last slide, ladies and gentlemen, here's where the residual income comes in. 85% of people are on the $99 membership. This one pays a residual income. You've got 2 teams. Left team, let's call team 1 left, right. Once your team gets to 10 members on the left and the right, and it's not 10 members you introduced, I probably brought Philip, and then I brought Jabari. Left team is Jabari, right team is Philip. They got excited. They started selling, connecting to trainings, introducing people. They ended up growing, telling a couple folks that told a couple folks, and my team got to 10 and 10. The company now starts to send me a $500 per month residual check every month like clockwork. That's in addition to my $7,000 commissions for solar, my $1,000 to $3,000 commissions on the water, my $400 to $700 commissions on the security, my overrides. That's in addition to. This is for my members. We're all growing, learning how to be professionals, learning how to be entrepreneurs, really learning this information. Once the team gets to 25 members on left and right, I now get paid $1,000 per month. And the cool thing is that the company will actually break that down into 4 payments. So let's say in December, I qualify for the Builder 1000. That's $1,000 per month. The company in January is going to send me 4 deposits, direct deposits to my bank account of $250, right? So a lot of people are used to getting paid weekly or bi-weekly. Well, the company will pay you that. So a lot of companies will wait till the end of the month to pay you that $1,000. Our company will pay you starting the very next week, the month after you hit that rank. They'll pay you, in this case, $250, $250, $250, $250. Now imagine once you get to the Builder 4000, that's $1,000 a week. I heard Fabian earlier say that the average person is 1 or 2 paychecks away from bankruptcy. That is a true statement. And the economy is not, ladies and gentlemen, where it needs to be. Sorry, not where it needs to be, but it's not in a good place, right? Or yeah, I guess you could say where it needs to be. My point is people are looking for an opportunity, and we have that for them. Now, there's other options that people could do. You could go drive for Uber, make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. Sure, you're already working 40 hours a week. Go make an extra $1,000 a month. Now you're working 60 to 70 hours a week. I don't know about you, but that's not what I want to do. I don't like sitting that long. I would rather build a business, learn. We've got a path for the next 3 to 5 years to learn to build a business in some high commission sectors that are growing sectors that are getting better over time, sectors that thrive whether the economy is good or the economy is bad. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to take advantage of everything that you saw here today, the builder pack is the one that you need to get. $199 one time, $99 per month thereafter. Okay. So get with the person that invited you. Let them know that you've got, if you've got some questions, they'll get your questions answered. If you're ready to get started, know that you're ready to get started, and you get your 4 high ticket brokerages plus the residual benefits and the Smart Money Club. So I do want to take 2 minutes. I want to hear, it's the last one of the year. We got an extra 2 minutes. I want to bring up my friend Jabari. Jabari, I think he has a little bit over 2 years of experience in solar, but he's closing a lot of sales. He's a director with the company, and he's one of the people that in this company everybody knows. So if I can do a mic check for Jabari, you there, bro? Maybe he can't mute himself. Let's see.
Okay, there we go.
Jabari, real quick, brother. Okay, yes, I could hear you just fine. Could you just, you got started with us in the beginning of the year, right? Could you just tell us a little bit what you did before and, how your experience has been here with our company?
Absolutely, JC. It's been an amazing experience, ladies and gentlemen. Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's right around the corner. Yes, my experience has been amazing. My background is actually in engineering. So I came out of corporate America in 2018, and I've been an independent entrepreneur since 2018 until now. I found JC 2 years ago in another solar company, maybe almost 3 years ago now. And he was paving the way for us, basically, right? I was watching what he was doing. He came out of network marketing, which is what I came out of, into high ticket sales. And everything he said just made sense, right? And so, yes, my first year in just the solar industry, I made over 300 grand following the exact philosophies that he's talking about, right? And from there, I followed JC over to this company, BYLD, where we have 4 high ticket brokerages, right? I was in a water business as well. How many people have heard of Kangen Water, right? That was another business that I wanted to make 6 figures in. I've sold a lot of water machines. Now I can do that all under one company with BYLD. ADT, right? I'm an ADT customer, right? So there's so many opportunities here to make 6 figures. And then with the ability to build a massive downline, it's the best of the best. That's the way to truly build wealth, right? Because I don't want to have to keep selling solar by myself year over year over year. I want the wealth, right, to start to build and carry me over. So currently I'm a builder 1,000, headed to builder 2,000. And we're just getting started, guys. This is just year number 1. I'm excited for 2025. We got a lot more at stake. And guys, the sky is the limit. So I will see you guys all at the top. Back to you, JC.
Wow. And by the way, first of all, thank you, Jabari. So Jabari just mentioned we have 2 ranks in the company. We have the builder ranks, the residual income. He's builder 1,000. That means he makes $1,000 a month residual income, right, from his team. That doesn't include his overrides as a director. As a director, he makes 35% overrides on people he personally introduced, and he makes 15% through unlimited levels on anybody underneath there. So that's a lot more than $1,000 a month. Not to mention, how many sales would you say, Jabari, that in 2024, we're wrapping up 2024. So how many sales would you say that this year, Jabari, you did?
Man, I really need to go and check inventory. I would say, man, at least 75 to 100 sales this year.
75. Yeah. So he started around February. He did about 6. So ladies and gentlemen, if all of those sales were mentor sales, and if it was not $3,500 a piece, if it was only $2,500 a piece that he made on each one of those, 75 times 2,500 was personal income production, not including his overrides, not including residual. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever been involved in network marketing, this is the evolution. This is high ticket residual income. We're going to tell the world this is the last business overview of the year, but I guarantee you, 2025, we will be the company in the industry that is kicking butt and taking names, and we want to help and bless as many people as possible. So, Jabari, thank you very much for that. Fabian, thank you very much for helping us with tonight's presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate all of you joining us here tonight. Have a great evening. Have a happy, prosperous, and blessed new year. And we'll see you guys at the top. Bye-bye.